So this video is how to do the IDW file, the drawing file, once you've created your part file. So on the screen in front of me is the part file for object number 2. And you can see there's dimensions on here, which is nice, but really we're trying to create working drawings. So the part file is the first step in a working drawing. To actually make the drawings, we're going to go to File. We're going to choose File and then New. When we click New, a dialog box is going to pop up in the middle of the screen, and you want to go to the IDW file. Click Create. That is going to give you a virtual piece of paper. Give it a couple seconds. Now this piece of paper is extremely large. It's like 24 inches top to bottom, 36 inches left to right. It's like the size of a poster. Now, because Object 2 is open, when I start my IDW, when I click the Base button, you'll notice that Object 2 automatically came in. It's set for the front view right now. Now, if you accidentally perhaps did your front view, but you did it on the right side, you can actually change the view cube here, and you can really make your front view really whatever side of the cube that you want it to be. Now, this is correct, so I'm going to leave it alone, but I am going to scale it up 2 to 1 because it was really small on the piece of paper. I'm not going to hit OK yet because I also need a top view, a right side view, and an isometric view. Once I have all 4 views plotted, I can hit OK. Now at this point, we're going to now put our dimensions on. So if I click back to our technical drawings, and we look at number 2. Give it just a second here to open up. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So all the dimensions that are on here need to appear on the IDW. Now the easiest way to do that is to actually look at the surfaces that are here. So if this 4 and 0.75 is across the front of the object, then when I get to here, I want to put this also across the front of the object. To do your dimensions, you have to go to the Annotate tab. Now to annotate means to write. So this is where we can do all sorts of notations on our drawing. First one is really dimension. So what you're going to notice is if I zoom in, it's a little easier to see. When the line turns red, if I click it, it turns blue, and when I move away from it, there is my dimension. Inside of this dialog box, we're going to type a quote symbol because 2 lines, the quote symbol means inches. And then we're going to hit OK. So you notice that initially the 4.75 on here did not have a dimension on it. I mean, it had a dimension, the numbers, but no unit of measure. Now, also on the front, I could do any of these ones that also appear in, because when this one here is on this back edge, that's also the same thing on this front edge. So I'm going to put the 1.25, the 1.75, and the 1 inch also on the front view. Click the line, click the drop it, type your quote symbol. Oops, for some reason my quote symbol didn't show up. So now it says there. So now I'm going to do this one, 1.75. I'm going to line these up because it just makes everything look a lot neater. And the last one I'm going to bring up, we're going to put right about there. So you notice each time I do have to do the quote symbol. Now I do want to be very careful about mentioning one thing. Occasionally, you're going to see green dots. So a green dot is at the end of a line and the middle of the line. And to use the green dots, like if I needed to know, oh, let's see, let's go back to the handout. 2 inches on the right-hand side. Okay, I can do that. Here's my right-hand side. So you notice if I hover on the line, it turns red. But if I move toward the middle line, I'm going to get a green dot. So if I just click the red line, the dimension's going to follow me. And that's fine. That's what I want to have happen. Now, if you accidentally click the green dot and you move away from it, you notice the dimension does not follow me. The line does stay blue, or it does turn blue, but it doesn't actually give me a dimension. It is waiting for me to click a second green dot. When I do that, that's basically telling it I want to measure from this first line to the second line. And you'll notice depending on where I put my cursor, it might be a vertical measurement, it might be a horizontal measurement, because you remember that one green dot was in the midpoint of the line. It could be a diagonal measurement, as you see right on the screen. So just be very careful before you click a green dot. Now, I did also need the height of this bottom portion. Now, according to our handout, it's 0.625. But what do you notice here? I'm going to put my inch symbol in here. So it says 0.63. It's almost like it's rounded off. So if on the handout it has 3 decimal places, then we also need 3 decimal places here. So how do we get those 3 decimal places? That's under the Precision and Tolerance tab. And I can come over here, Primary Unit, and I can click 3. And you notice as soon as I click 3 dimension places here, this automatically changed. If you go too many, you're just going to end up with extra zeros on the end. Not really the end of the world, but let's try to get just the amount of dimensions or decimal places that we need to make it accurate. So I'm getting really close to being done here. I've got, I need to do, where I did this, I also need to do a 1, another 0.625, a 0.75, and this 1.375. And then I'll be done. I could do some of those right over here. Actually, I think I could do all of them over here. And once again, I'm just stacking my dimensions. Because I clicked on Precision and Tolerance, I do have to click back on Text to get that unit of measure. If I do this one, you'll notice that this is another one of those that's 0.63, but it really should be 0.625. And it's easy to do that. And I think the last one was this one here. Now this one was actually 4 decimal places. Oh, no, I guess it was 3 decimal places. I misspoke. And we'll say an inch there. So between the front view and the right side view, I think I've gotten all my dimensions. Now, if you want to do a quick, not very accurate way, but a quick way to just check if you might have them all, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm missing one. I'm missing this one right here. It is shown on the right side view, and it is this line right here. I'm going to pull that all the way down, and you'll notice I did have room between the bottom edge, this red line of the object, and the dimension for that. So I can kind of sneak that dimension right in there. And now I'm totally done. So at this point, I'd hit save. And when I hit save, what it's going to do is it's going to ask me where I want to save it. If you're working from home, remember, you've got to look for that local disk X. I'm not on Cameo right now, so you notice that it shows my Google Drives. But if you're working from home, you have to click on local disk X, and then you have to click on G Drive, and that's your Google Drive. Okay, good luck with this.